Yeah, like... Well, that was 11 months ago, and we just hit 800 subscribers on this channel. It is I'm stuttering here because I can't find the words. It is just so surreal. 100,000 subscribers is something that I literally never thought I would reach. Like, we set up the goal here to reach 50,000 subscribers on the channel until New Year's Eve, and now we're up at like 110,386 subscribers. So I'm just gonna start off by saying a huge thank you to you for being here, for supporting me, for enjoying the content that I produce, and being so awesome, because like without you it wouldn't be possible for me to actually sit here and record this video saying that we are 100,000 subscribers on the channel. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for me, for everything that, yeah, it's I'm speechless. With that said, let's get into the Q&A, because you guys have a lot of questions, and you know me, I'm gonna try to answer as many of you as possible, so let's get to it. Hosao Pro, what is your celebration plan when you reach 100,000 subscribers? I see that in next week. You were totally right. I didn't even think about a celebration because everything went so fast. So, but we will definitely do something about that. So, like, it's coming. But yeah, I'm not really sure yet. Savo Adventure, if you have one question for Peter McKinnon, what would the question be? Oof, that is a hard one. What would I ask Peter McKinnon? Oh, what I probably would have asked him is, how you doing, man? I don't know, like that is probably the one thing that I would ask him on the top of my head. Yosu Mosu, that is a cool name. How did you start making money to afford this lifestyle? This is a question that I get asked a lot. And as you all know, like filmmaking equipment and photography equipment is not cheap by any means. Like, it is expensive. So one of the main reasons that I've been able to afford the gear that I have now is because when I worked at my daytime job, I worked as a supervisor on DHL, and that actually gave me like quite a good monthly paycheck that I could use to both pay my rent at home, of course, and then I could also save up to buy a camera and buy the lenses that I needed. And when I bought the camera that I wanted to have, then I started to do some jobs with that camera, and that basically started to pay off the camera. And what I also did is not something that I recommend to anyone, but I had a couple of jobs like planned, but I needed to have some tools to be able to do those jobs. So what I did is that I went in, I bought some lenses on credit, and then I paid that off with the jobs at the same time as I was working on my daytime job at DHL. So if you plan out your route that you want to take and save up some money and play it smart, then you can probably make it work. But my recommendation is to start saving up the money that you need to get started, and then make sure that that investment starts paying itself off before you jump into the next one. So yeah, that is basically the way that I worked. Mind of Paka asked, do you plan every scene before you're shooting or improvise during the shooting? That is a little bit of both. For example, these kind of videos, I like mix up the content. Sometimes I plan it, sometimes I just don't like say what is on top of my head, even though it's hard because I'm Swedish, you know, the language barrier, and sometimes I don't even know what to say. But for example, when I'm shooting a like somewhat professional cinematic B-roll, then I try to have a shot list because it's gonna make stuff a lot easier when you just go by that. So most of the time I actually just grab the camera, go out, shoot the thing that I want to shoot, and then go in, edit, and then go out and finish the B-roll shots that I want, and then back, post it onto YouTube, and leave that, go to the next one. So that's basically the workflow that I have right now, but I probably need to optimize that. somewhat. DK Hustler, top 5 tips for YouTube channel that you wish you known when you started. The absolute first tip that I am going to give to anyone that is wanting to start a YouTube channel is be prepared to work your ass off. Like literally work your ass off. The second tip that I have is don't do vlogs. Vlogs are really fun. I enjoy making my vlogs, but when it comes to like building an audience, there's literally no one that knows who you are when you start at YouTube and you're creating vlogs. There's millions of people just like you that are also making vlogs. So why should I follow you? What is so special about your life that I should follow you? That is like the mindset that you gotta have when you're starting out. Tip number 3 is definitely gonna be to pay close attention to the analytics when it comes to YouTube. Like don't just put that aside and think that, you know, I'm just gonna post this video and everything's gonna be fine. Like there's so much information that you can get in the YouTube analytics, and I spend by far like hours in that every single week, just looking at the analytics, look at the reach, look at where the views came from, how the thumbnail does, what is the click-through rate, how long is the audience retention. All of those things like make your content better when you take that and apply it to your next video. So like don't ignore the YouTube analytics. Tip number 4 is going to be to invest your time into creating good thumbnails. Like if you can take a separate photo and edit that to make it look like a really good thumbnail, then it's gonna be way better than just grabbing a screenshot from your video. I mean, like sometimes the only thing that you got is a screenshot from the video, and that's fine. But if you have the opportunity to take a thumbnail, or if you have the time, or if you remember it, then I highly suggest you to take a really good thumbnail. Tip number 5 will be search engine optimize your videos. Like YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world that is owned by Google, which is the biggest search engine in the world. So when it comes to like reaching out to your audience, there's also going to be a lot of different things such as keywords, titles, and SEO in your description. And when you're creating any kind of tutorial video or how-to or review or a video that you want people to see, then do pay close attention to search engine optimizing your videos with a good title, good keywords, like good description as well. Everything just comes together when you have all of those things like packaged into one single video. So if I were to start my channel today, that is definitely 5 things that I wish I'd known when I was starting out. Simon Monty, big question. Organically grown your channel? How and what did you do to grow this fast? I mean, I get it that your videos are epic, but what else? I have never gotten a shout out. I've never done a collaboration. I have never paid for any kind of advertisement for my videos or anything like that. I have tried my absolute best to create engaging content, be really active with you, that is my community, and I've also tried my best to search engine optimize all of my videos as much as I possibly can. I spend a lot of time into creating thumbnails. Always watch at the audience retention of my videos to see what I did wrong and where you jumped off. Because when it comes to the audience retention, like most of the viewers drop off within the first 15 seconds of the video. And I try to keep that a little bit more interesting than usual videos and try to see what other people are doing that I personally don't like. But the thing that actually made the channel to grow really fast was when I started to be myself in front of the camera and incorporate, you know, these Swedish kind of things that I usually throw in there, and some kind of like humor that I have, and a lot of my own personality into the videos, because you guys seem to enjoy that. So I would say, like, be yourself, try your best to create as good videos as you possibly can, and make sure that you create videos about a topic that people actually want to watch. Gatewood Brown, I'm really liking your sound effects. Can you discuss where they're from? I've been getting this question a lot lately, which is totally dope. It's glad that you are actually paying attention to those tiny details that I spend hours on implementing in the videos. So the most of my sound effects is actually from Epidemic Sounds sound effects library, which I highly recommend if you're on a tight budget and you just want to have some really good crispy sound effects for your videos. I'm gonna drop a link down below so you can just go there, sign up, and then use that in your video. But when I want to have those really like next level professional sounds that I used in the poker b-roll, for example the bass drop that is like, and then you have the slow-mo sound that comes in like then I usually go to a site that is called SoundSnap, and I also use the anticipation pack from Lens Distortion. And I do know that those are kind of expensive, but if you're taking your content creation seriously, then I would highly recommend you to invest into really good sound effects, because it's gonna like elevate your videos for sure. Ruslan Kulinic, how do you think what trends in video making will be actual in 2020? I don't really know, but I think that the whole cinematic b-roll sequences is something that we're gonna see a whole lot more of, especially when it comes to bigger companies. I do think that there's gonna be more like cool Instagram ads and Facebook ads and stuff like that. So I think that there's gonna be a lot more freedom for creative people to do what they want, because we are consuming so much content right now, so that we want to see like more cool stuff and more extraordinary stuff, if you may. So on YouTube, I definitely think that the b-roll and cinematic thing is going to continue and it's going to grow, and after that, who knows? The Rax Tick asked, from all the things that involve cinematography and videography for a beginner, what would you recommend investing time in to learn first? The better you are at editing, the better your footage is going to look. As I've said in one of my previous videos, like good footage can be destroyed with bad editing, but good editing can save bad footage, if that makes sense. So I would probably like invest a little bit more time editing the videos, but then I would also try to post as many videos as I possibly could onto YouTube or Instagram, so that you actually get the feedback from people that you don't know, that can like give you pointers or guidelines or stuff like that, so that you can become even better at editing. Alexi J asked, should you invest a lot in equipment when you are starting YouTube? I would say no. Like when you're starting out a YouTube channel, there's no revenue stream from doing that. It's just gonna be like a hobby for you. Like it's something that you should do because you're passionate about doing videos and that you're passionate about sharing your passion with the world. But if there is something that I would recommend you to buy, it's definitely gonna be a good microphone and a good light source. And you don't have to buy this huge camera, because using your smartphone is going to be more than sufficient for a long time if you just do these kind of talking head videos. DNA asked, when you mix 4K and 1080p footage, do you downscale the 4K footage or do you upscale the 1080p to a 4K timeline? I always upscale the 1080p to a 4K timeline, because doing the opposite would mean that I had to post it in full HD, but I want to post all of my videos in 4K. Thin Line Media, how does having a YouTube channel help you to get better paid client work, if it does? Up to this point, it has actually not made any kind of difference at all. I'm still being this like barely able to live off of my client work. But I guess like the more we grow on YouTube, the more money I actually earn on the YouTube channel, which is totally dope, because this is more fun than doing client work. Northern Exotics, has YouTube affected home life or your mental health? This is actually a really good question, and when it comes to work balance, it's really hard to create YouTube videos at the same time as you're having a job. When I started this channel, I worked at DHL, but that was also a part-time job to begin with. So I basically was at work at like 5 a.m. and then I worked until 10 a.m. and then I had the whole day off to create something, and that is when I made my YouTube videos. And then I started working full-time at DHL and then was at work from like 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then after that, I made my YouTube videos. So when it comes to the amount of work that you actually invest into a YouTube channel when you're starting it up and when you want to get traction and when you want to lift it off the ground, if you may, there's a lot of work that you have to put in. I have probably been working like somewhere between 10 to 14 hours every single day to be able to do this, to be able to do my client work, and the small amount of time that I have left spent with Amanda and my son. Of course, YouTube is affecting the mental health of a person because you get a lot more feedback than you would ever get if you didn't have a YouTube channel, but you also get way more hate and people commenting about how you look, people commenting about how bad you are, people commenting about different things that you do in your videos that they don't like, and there's a bunch of hate comments that I just sit and delete. And the fun thing is that people don't actually believe that, but I read every single comment. But I try to stay positive because my main ambition when you're watching my videos is that you should have a good time watching my videos. If I didn't answer your question in this video, I'm sorry, but I tried my best to like answer the most upvoted upvoted ones. And then I scrolled down the whole like post and tried to see the questions that I thought was interesting and then answered those. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for all the immense support that you've given me here on the channel. And if you like this channel and if you like this video, then you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. Nej. I'm gonna do like this, and we're gonna finish this off with a classic. Peter from Sweden. Out.